This PowerPoint is on the article called On Stir and Serve Recipes for Teaching by Susan Ohanian. Her main ideas, her main point is that there is no instant recipe for running a classroom. She talks about how good teaching doesn't come in a box. You can't hand someone a curriculum and have them be a good teacher. It's more than that. And she also talks about the training that teachers need and how they have to really think for themselves and learn from experience. And she talks about how we need good teachers. It doesn't come from a box. She talks about how sometimes when we go through teaching classes, we don't want to put the full thing in and think really critically. And when we have to offer ideas and seeds we have to nurture in our own gardens. And she says that this is exactly what we need to do, because good teaching doesn't just come from curriculums that are handed to us and materials and little cut and paste activities. She says what counts is attitude and endeavor, and I like that. I think she's trying to say that how the teacher interacts and responds to the children is really how they help and they teach. And she says that learning, it's silly to say that learning happens in 82 steps. Learning how to read happens in 82 steps, or that there can be books on 100 ways to teach. So it doesn't happen in steps, it happens in a wave. Another way that she demonstrates this is by telling a story about how she worked with reading students, and these students had a really hard time and they really hated reading, and they'd already gone through all the set reading curriculums and it was not helping them, and she had them read by doing science projects that required reading, but she never said, all right kids, we're going to start reading. She had them do science projects instead, and how that was one way that she thought creatively and she got around the problem and didn't necessarily use all these nice little boxed up teaching recipes, but she came up with a way to teach that catered to the students at that time and place. Another thing she talks about is how teachers have so much stuff. How they have all these curriculums and how they have all these little projects and how they have construction paper and scissors hanging out in their classroom that's not needed. She says that it would be better if if we simplified, and that we don't use 80% of the materials that are jammed into classrooms, because they need overarching ideas, and they need the feeling and the attitude of how they want to teach, and they don't need to have all these little stuff get in the way. She talks a lot about how good teachers need good training, and the first part of the training that she really talks about is the professor's end. How the professors have a responsibility to really, she says, know about education theory and be good with the children, be savvy with children. The teachers need to have experience and know what it's really like out there in the field. And she says that they would do better if they didn't hand out their 100 or even 10 snazzy new ideas for the well-stocked classroom, because they need to teach us a way to find our own way and not just give us all the recipes, so that we have purpose and so that you can climb your own mountain and do it your own way. Our job, though, is to stop asking education professors for the whole house. This means that we need to recognize that it's our job to learn and grow and work on our own and try to learn from experience. And one of the ways she talks about is observing, how that's a way to teach, but you have to have foundational knowledge to do that. I really liked this article because I thought it had really good ideas in that teaching isn't come from a box, it comes from your heart, and it comes from being dedicated to the students and being smart and thinking about how you can help them. I thought it needs moderation though, because I think that visual aids and lesson plans, I I feel like they would be really important in a classroom. That might just be because I'm the typical elementary school elementary education major coming in, and that's who she's talking about. We want all these recipes to teach, but I think that's important to learn. I think she just is saying that we need to take that, but also take ourselves and come up with what really works for our students. Thanks for watching.